Hi, this is Andy Sharp from Nikkei Asia. I'm with Rintaro Nishimura from Asia Group.
Good to be here.
It's a sweltering day. We're outside the Diet building and the race is heating up for the upper house election. What are the logistics? Which parties are running in this, etc.? What can we look out for?
So the LDP and the Komeito party are the ruling parties, and we have 7 or so opposition parties running in this election. They range from the left and the right to the far right and the left, actually. And it's a quite diverse set of opposition parties vying for 125 seats. 50 seats is the target for the ruling parties to maintain control of the upper house.
Okay, and what's at stake?
The idea now that the lower house was lost for the ruling parties last year is that the loss of the upper house as well means that they have no control over the Diet and the legislative process. And it also triggers the possibility of a no confidence and a dissolution of the lower house and a general election later in the fall, which again could lead to the possibility of a change in government.
So what are the key issues for this election?
The majority of the focus of this election will be on economic policy, considering that the Japanese economy is facing inflation and also soaring living costs tied to the rice policy that has been of interest of late. Tariffs, obviously, with the current announcement by the United States of 25% is going to weigh heavy given the timing of that. The other issue is with foreigners, which has become quite the hot topic of late. Especially because of rising parties like Sanseito on the right, who are basically saying that the problems that we face today with the economy are compounded by the fact that foreigners are coming in with issues of lower tax rates or even tax exempt shopping, while the domestic economy kind of falters.
Okay, but you talk about the rise of this new party on the right. What are the polls broadly saying?
The polls are across the board actually showing that the LDP and Komeito are going to have a very tough race to maintain their majority, which is obviously not a good sign for Ishiba and his party. At the same time, it seems that while the established main opposition, Constitutional Democratic Party, is set to make some gains, it seems that the biggest winner at this point in time is Sanseito and the Democratic Party for the People, which have been gaining a lot of support amongst voters of late because of their kind of populist tendencies.
What is behind the rise of this phenomenon, this anti-foreigner sentiment, etc.? What does this signify?
I think one of the big reasons why Sanseito, and even to a lesser extent the DPFP, has come up as of late is the idea that the established parties, including the LDP and also the CDP, are not really working for the people or for the voters. They seem to be more interested in the politics of it all. And that seems to be increasing the amount of frustration that people are feeling. I also think that these minority parties tend to do better online with their campaigns on social media. And that seems to be where the majority of these anti-foreign sentiments are really building up.
What would you say is that the big picture thing to look out for?
Well, obviously, because this is the race in which we could see the LDP lose its majority in both houses, that is quite a surprising feat given the long dominance of this party. Usually the lower house is the election that people watch for because that's where the Prime Minister is elected, and that is usually the party that holds most of the legislative power. But because the loss of the upper house could lead to a change in government by the end of the year, that makes this upper house election quite consequential to Japanese politics.
Indeed it does. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.